Okay, today I have brought a problem related with financial market. Here is a information related with Standard Chartered Bank. So this information is related with NIFSE trading. So secondary market where there is a transaction of a particular date of a particular commercial bank. So here there are certain informations are given here in these questions. So this question has this information here. Consider the following stock quote for Standard Chartered Bank, Nepal Limited, derived from NEFSE trading as on March 5th, 2020. So here it's a information related with Standard Chartered Bank. So now here the first one here is symbol. Okay, symbol is here SCB. So SCB here means it's a Standard Chartered Bank, and here opening rate is 698, high 718, low 650, close 700, volume here 34,342, previous closing rate it's a 712. Likewise, turnover is 2 crore 41 lakh 14,953. Difference percentage is minus 1.69%, and the 52 days weeks 52 weeks high is 850 and low is 520. So these are the informations which are given in the question. So now here are certain questions are asked based on these informations provided by the this question. So first one is, at what price stock traded on the day of quotation? This is the first question. Likewise, second question, what were the maximum and the minimum trading price of SCB stock on the day of quotation? And now third question, at what price did the stock close on the trading day? Likewise, fourth question is, how many shares of SCB stock were traded on the day? Likewise, next question, what is the total value of shares traded on the day? And now the this you can say the sixth question, did the stock price increase or decrease on the day of quotation as compared to previous day? Now here your seventh question, what does difference mean? And eighth question is, how do you explain 52 weeks high-low quote? So these are the questions which are asked in this problem. So now let's see the first one, at what price stock traded on the day of quotation? Okay, so here you can see on the day of quotation means March 5th, 2020 is the day of quotation which is provided in the question. So here, at what price stock traded on the day of quotation? So if you see the price here, you can see the open price. So you see the open price here, it is 698. So opening price is the stock price, stock traded opening rate, or you can say stock opened at this March 5th, 2020. Means you can now you can write here the stock traded at price rupees 698 on the day of quotation. This is your first answer. Okay. Now next question, what were the maximum and the minimum trading prices of SCB stock on the day of quotation? So you can see here high and low. So here high means maximum and low means minimum. So you can write here the maximum and minimum, I have written it shortly, minimum trading price of SCB stock where rupees 718, this is the highest, 718, and rupees 650, this is the lowest or minimum price, respectively on the day of quotation. Okay, this is your second answer. Now look at the third question. At what price did the stock close on the trading day? On the trading day means on March 5th, 2020. March 5th, 2020 is the trading day. So here, at what price did the stock close on the trading? So here you can see again in the question, there is a close price. There is a close price is given in the information or in the question, that is 700 rupees. So you can write now the stock closed at price rupees 700 on the trading day. This is your third question answer. Now let's see the fourth question. How many shares of SCB stocks were traded on the day? So now you can see again the informations provided in the question. Now there is a volume. So here volume, VOL means volume. Volume means number of shares which were traded on that day, on March 5th, 2020. So now you can see how many shares of SCB stocks were traded on the day. Now you can write, this is the volume here. So here 34,342 shares were traded of SCB stocks on the day. On the day means March 5th, 2020. So now you have almost solved 4 questions. Now let's see the fifth question. Here in fifth question, what is the total value of shares traded on the day? Here total value of shares traded on the day means on March 5th, 2020. Now let's see the question again. There is a information given in here, turnover. So here total value of shares traded on the day, it means total amount of shares. Okay, total amount of shares, total amount in rupees that were traded on that day, March 5th, 2020. So now let's see the total value of shares traded on the day. It's a relatively, it's a turnover. Okay, turnover means the amount of shares which were traded on the day. So now you can write the total value of shares traded is rupees 2 crore 41 lakh 14,953. Okay, this is your total value of shares traded on the day of quotation, on that day, that is March 5th, 2020. Now let's look at the sixth question. Did the stock price increase or decrease on the day of quotation as compared to previous day? So here you look at the question again. The informations are given here, previous close. previous close price is given there, and also the closing price of March 5th is also given here. Previous closing price is given here, it is 712, and the closing price of March 5th 2020 is also given, it's 700 rupees. Now if you see that, what you find? You find that the previous closing price is higher than the closing price of March 5th 2020, which means here there is a decline in the closing price of SCB on March 5th 2020. So you can now write the stock price decrease on the day of quotation as compared to previous day. So if you see there, previous closing price is 712 and the closing price on March 5th 2020 is 700. So you comparatively, if you see there is a decline of 12 rupees has declined from the previous day closing price. So you can write here the stock price decreased on the day of quotation as compared to previous day by rupees 12. Okay, and you can also write the information that the previous closing price was 712 and the closing price on March 5th 2020 was rupees 700. That also you can write in the answer. Now the seventh question, what does difference mean? Okay, so here difference percentage here, it's given in your question. In your question there is a different percentage given here, minus 1.69. So here difference percentage means percentage difference between the previous closing price of SCB stock price and the closing price of SCB on March 2020. So here you can see there is a relative decline in the price of SCB from the previous closing price to the closing price on March 5th 2020. So here different percentage means percentage difference between the previous closing price of SCB and the closing price of SCB on March 2020. So now you can also calculate the difference percentage by using this formula. Difference percentage equal to closing price, or you can say close price minus previous closing price divide by previous closing price into 100. If you use this formula, closing price minus previous closing price divided by previous closing price into 100, then you will get minus 1.69 percentage difference as your answer. So it means a difference between the percentage difference between the previous closing price of the SCB and the closing price of SCB on March 5th 2020. Now next question is your how do you explain 52 weeks high-low quote? How do you explain 52 weeks high-low quote? So here you can see informations are given in your question. 52 weeks high-low, highest price is 850 and the lowest price is 520. So now if you see this, the 52 weeks high-low quote here means within the 52 weeks the highest price of SCB does reach up to rupees 850, and the lowest price within 52 weeks it reached up to rupees 520 in this time period. So it shows that the highest price of the SCB is rupees 850 and lowest price of the SCP is rupees 520 within 52 weeks. Okay, I think I can write you my explanation. So it is not much space to write. So this much for today.